Hello, you guys. So I was about to go to bed, and then I decided that actually we needed to do this video and we needed to talk about this topic. And yes, my cat was literally moving. So I took up my phone, regardless of the quality of the video in and of itself. I'm going to just try to show you a better side of my room. And I just want to talk about this very fundamental factor of why disagreeing with each other is actually something so important and can be so beneficial to our society as well to relationship at large. Let me contextualize this for you guys. Why do you think disagreeing with each other is important? I mean, in the spiritual community as it is, but to be honest, in society at large, we are fed with this concept that we need to have the same values with people, we need to agree all the time. And if you have noticed the way social media does manipulate our lives, I highly suggest you to delete social media if you can and just turn off your notification. But I can talk about this in another video of mine. If you notice how social media and the algorithms actually work, is that they will always give you, they first of all, they collect all your data in order to make the content that they're sharing customizable for you. That's the reason why even if you have the same interest, let's say to your best friends, you have the same circle of friends, your feed is most likely going to be super different than your best friend feed, because your feed is customized for you, for your impression, what you follow, your facial expressions. Even like these algorithms and AI are basically gigantic rooms full of computers that are just working on particular algorithms that they basically have a life of their own. And so what is happening with the algorithms and the way, especially the Generation Z has been growing up, they have social media since they were in middle school, most of them. And so what it's showing, it's only what you agree to. That's literally how these platforms are made. They're made to be efficient and just to show you what you like. Now we can sit here and talk about how detrimental that could be and how much that is also for advertisement, but I don't want to get to that in this video. What I want to get into is the fact that as a society at large, not only we're fitting a lot of vanity and a lot of narcissism in and of itself, and we're spreading mental health due to social media and the way we are basically getting manipulated in our behavior, in a behavioral sense. But what I think it's more deep, that it's ruining our life, society at large, and our relationship, is the fact that we are not open to disagreeing anymore. And therefore polarization, it's happening on a larger scale over and over and over again. What do I mean by that? If you're constantly scrolling down the social platforms like many of you guys are, and you're only getting suggested what the algorithm thinks you're gonna like and you're going to agree with, it goes without saying that this behavior doesn't just stop to social media. You are going to bring this behavior out in society. That is why most of the time when I personally, but as many other people did, I said things that are not socially, can we put it, are not socially accepted in the spiritual community. I got called out for being toxic, for being someone that should just shut up about it because I wasn't being spiritual. The reason that is not because these people are mean in and of itself, but because they are just used to only have what they like in front of their face 24/7. They go to bed getting affirmed everything that they think it's right. This is the reason why so many conspiracy theory get a larger audience these days more than before. It's because somewhere in the world, it's easy to find either 1,000 people that think that the earth is flat, because they are just only gonna get information that affirm what they already think is right. Now, this behavior is inherently wrong, in my opinion, for society as well as for democracy at large. Because if you're just gonna sit around in our room and just talk with people that agree with us all the time, it goes without saying that on a psychological, emotional, and spiritual level, we're not growing. I mean, if you're into the spiritual community in the real sense, like spirituality at large, you know how much is important to have contrast in life. It's through contrast that we learn to grow. Sometimes it's even through pain. It's not by always getting what we want that we grow as spirit and as people. And sometimes through conflict and disagreement, when it's done in a healthy way and in a constructive way, we can actually discover new parts of ourselves, the world, and other people, and find common goals for the greater good. So in this sense, even social media can be a great tool to use in order to connect with people and find disagreements. But of course, when we're getting manipulated and we're only getting served with what we want to hear, that doesn't help our relationship. And this is why we are seeing increased, in my opinion, into depression of people, mental health, but especially isolation and conflicts, like not the good healthy conflicts with people. Because right now, how for the majority of people conflict looks like, it's like, even in a relationship, even in a romantic relationship, you don't agree with me, you don't think exactly how I think, therefore you're toxic, therefore you're not for me. I see people doing this sort of behavior every single day, all the time. You don't agree with me, you're negative, I just don't resonate with you, that's it, that's your opinion, whatever, and we just go away. But this is not how even democracy works. It's about, okay, I disagree with you. Can we sit down and talk? Maybe I'm wrong, I'm open to it. Maybe you're wrong, maybe none of the two is wrong. It's about having a healthy conversation to bettering the world. And this goes very much in hand with the conception right now of the fact that every one of us think that we own a subjective truth. And that's all that we are served in the face. How do you say in English? Like, we get served like our objective truth all the time, subjective truth, sorry, all the time through this ads and through the content that they're serving us. But the reality of the story is that truth cannot be subjective, otherwise it cannot be truth. Truth is a goal that we are all seeking as individuals and as human beings. I have been studying philosophy at university for years, and the beauty of studying philosophy was that it taught me that since the beginning of time, humankind wanted to answer the same questions: who we are, where we're going, how can we better this world, what is the truth? And even though we can say that on a spiritual perspective, Source makes up all the subjective truth and makes it into an objective truth that only Source can see, this is very true on a spiritual level, but still we are having a human experience. So we have to connect with the fact that it has to be a truth in life. Not everything can be so subjective. Not everyone can be right, because we need to go towards the truth that it's healthy for the planet, that it's healthy for human beings. Because if everything and everyone is right, we are going to live a society of chaos, which is not going to benefit the environment, it's not going to benefit the animal, and ultimately is going to destructive for everyone involved. So why disagreeing is so important. Even if you disagree with this video, you should comment it right now down below in a respectful way. Disagreeing, it's not about hating other people. It's just about expressing your opinion in a healthy way with the common goal in mind of bettering this existence. Because many people just assume that disagreeing is about arguing, it's about hating a person. And that is because many people on social media, they do it in very unrespectful ways, like, you don't agree with me, therefore I'm just going to become straightforward abusive with you. But we need to learn as a new generation, Generation Z, or even older than that, we need to use these platforms for our own advantage and log off when they are trying to manipulate us. And the way we do it, it's by not clicking all the time on videos that are getting recommended to us, but perhaps being more independent about what we're choosing. Google what we really want to look, and just not assume that every video that we're seeing holds the objective truth. And it's not because people are saying things that are resonating with us or that we immediately agree with us, that means that is the objective truth. We need to become individuals that are more advanced on a brain level and spiritual level, in my opinion, where we are going to be able to distinguish what is manipulation, what is hate, to what is, I'm just having a disagreement with you. Let's talk about it. Let's engage with it. And let's go together towards a compromise and a common goal for the bettering of this planet. I think if people will approach life in this way, relationship could be a lot better. Because if you're just thinking even about romantic relationship, or I just need to find the person that understands me for who I am, that shares the same values as me and just agrees on everything, it's, first of all, you're gonna get super bored. But second, it's impossible. You're gonna have a relationship with a robot, and you're not gonna grow at all from this relationship. What I learned so much, especially through friendship, is that through the friends that were so different from me and that I disagreed with, I discovered treasures, and I opened my mind, and possibly I've done the same to them. But the common goal needs to remain the same. Disagreement doesn't mean hating on other people. It just means about becoming intellectual independent for the bettering of this planet. And I think that each and every one of us needs to really question, what are we doing with our action, where we are going in society at large, and individually we need to start making better choices, not because we just need to do it for the future. We need to do it for the planet at large and for human beings. Because if you're just going to blindly go for this polarization and go towards, oh, I'm just going to follow only the people that I agree with, well, we are really going to set some huge fundamental basis for not only civil war, but for separation. And the way we unite each other to others is by listening to them, even when we don't necessarily agree. It's by opening our minds. So yeah, the point of this video is just don't be scared. Don't be scared to be different. Don't be scared to disagree. Just don't be scared to live. Don't be scared to say things even on social media, because you're not going to get likes, or the algorithm it's not going to approve you. Like, man, I am not doing this video because I know the algorithm is going to punish me probably for saying these things. I just want to do things not because of money, not because I get a validation from likes. I deleted all my social media apart from YouTube because I do not want to die being one of the problem, being inside the problem and being the contribution to the problem that has destroyed and separated human beings to a point of destruction of the planet at large. Because really this is what we're talking about. Even though it seems so harmless what we're doing, is really harming so many people. And we, as the youngster, we can make a difference. So I think I'm just asking you not to agree with me, but I'm just asking you to open your mind to not be so scared of confrontation. Because all my life I have been, oh my God, like, society has been telling me, oh, you're too much of a fighter, you're too much confrontational, you're disagreeing too much, you have too much of an opinion. But I'm a student of philosophy and always have been, and for me, I will always make questions, and I think this is very healthy, it's very constructive, makes my mind busy, it makes me curious. If I only gonna get things around me that agree with me, it's like, how am I ever going to better the world? And I think that each and every one of us needs to put our ego aside for a second and really ask ourselves, are we really being honest with others in the way we think? Are we really creating a constructive conversation for bettering the planet on these platforms? Or are we just sharing content so we can get and we can get views and Insta famous or whatever? You know, life is much more than that, guys. And especially if you're very young. I know I sound like a boring mom, but you gotta believe me when I'm saying life is more than that. Your relationship with other people, it's more than just getting fame and recognition on social media. having the courage to speak your truth respectfully. It's more important in a lifetime than getting approval for other people. But I think as a younger generation, the youth, let's put it this way, sorry for my English, we just need to learn how to do it. And I think that this is also a polarization that we're facing, that sometimes we don't know how to do it. We're just plain disrespectful, or we get triggered too much by the opinion and disagreements of other people. But we just need to become more balanced as individuals and just say all the time when we're saying something how this can benefit the other person, even if I'm disagreeing, and how can this improve the planets. And we need to start cultivating interesting and intellectually independent conversation, which also starts by using the social platform in a much healthier way. So yes, disagreeing with other people sometimes can be the most important thing to do in order to create a constructive conversation and aiming towards a greater truth and a greater improvement of society at large. So I'm just challenging you guys to think about this, and even disagreeing if you want to in a respectful way in the comment section, but just engage and share your thoughts, because I really love to make this content. And since I deleted my social media, I've been thinking a lot and reading a lot more, and I just would love to engage with you guys in this sort of conversation. So just let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll go to bed, and good night. Love you.